Do you consider yourself a numismatist? Because for me, obviously, you would be, but I kind
Yes.
of wonder what level. How do you know when you've arrived at that, or what do you view that
Oh,
about?
good question.
Uh, so yeah, you mentioned. What's interesting to me, how many different avenues there are. Uh, Grading Morgans, like you were talking about, and grades in general. Have you studied much on the grading scale?
Love the grading scale. And did you know it didn't always go to 70? Those were actually added later on.
Tell
Um,
me, speak to me, talk to me, Goose.
right? Exactly. Yeah, that's the Sheldon scale. And that didn't go to 70. It went to 70 just recently in the last, in the modern era. And it was actually started out as a dollar figure, not a grade. So if somebody said it was a mint state 30, it was a $30 coin. So that's pretty interesting. And that really, I think, is a testimony to how things evolve over time and how definitions that we understand and know and these terms that we've come to understand actually change over time. I think that's one of the biggest things that I've come to understand about life in general is that definitions change, meanings change.
Oh man, and boy, there's a subject.
Yeah.
I would say that I mean I'm that's on my mind almost daily. Is For one thing, what am I saying? Sometimes I say stuff and I go back and I think about it, and I'm like, that's not even what I was meaning to say. Our words almost have been, I don't know what, watered down or changed around, but yeah, that's very interesting that you bring that up. So it was a dollar system. 30 mint state. Can you explain that a bit more to me? I'm a little confused on what you're saying.
Yeah. In fact, I'm going to bring this up so I don't screw it up because I don't want to give you guys the original. Um, no,
Wild card coins. Welcome in.
PGS. And I know even though it says here on PGS, this is not the truth. It says in 1948, William Sheldon, he was a doctor. I don't know if he was actually a doctor of
No.
numismatics. Oh, I'm just kidding. Doctor of numismatics. I'm just being silly. Yeah, so they actually let's say the ANA, the American Numismatic Association, adopted this scale in the 70s to grade the coins, even though this was made in 1948, assigning grades from 1 through 70. All right, and
Okay.
this is actually I like standardization. For me, that's a really big deal. In Mint State, the grade is MS. In proof, it's either PR or PF. Now, for listing things on eBay on the secondary market, I think it would be important to find some kind of either it's going to be PF or PR, the strike determining the strike type. All right, so I don't know, man. I love coins so much. I could talk about them for so long. And this Sheldon scale, it is important, but it's not everything. And the problem with the Sheldon scale really ultimately is, and yes, look, it's good. Look, if you're going to be a steward of a coin collection, meaning it's going to be in your possession for a certain amount of time, and then you're going to give it to somebody else, which ultimately is going to happen because, I mean, obviously, I mean, you could take it with you, but that's weird.
Right.
Um, that's once you've graded something and you've got it a designation, whether it's a strike, a proof strike, or a mid strike, and then a grade of a 65 or a 69 proof or 70 proof, the people you love, the people you give the coin to, are going to be able to sell it with much more leverage than they would if it was in raw format. And I think really, besides having that going for you, all grading does is give you bragging rights. So it gives you bragging rights to grade coins on the Sheldon scale, but it also lets your progeny or your heirs get close to what the coins are worth. Now, for me, I love graded coins, but also love raw coins. You know, Do you buy graded coins yourself, or do you like graded coins at all?
I do buy them. I'm it goes it depends on the coin for me, really. Like I'm into ancient coins, and I've kind of went more towards the raw on
Mhm.
that side of things.
Yeah.
Because I think just getting that history in your hands, and the minting technology was a little bit different, obviously, and so for me, it's about holding those coins.
Yeah.
But I do think that, I mean, there's definitely, like you say, for a novice, it's definitely an easy way in, and that's, I think the coin community would probably agree, that's made it easy for a lot of people
Yeah.
in that area.
Yep. Easy
But
to
again,
understand, it's a number, everybody knows numbers, right? They know
right,
higher numbers more, less numbers less. I mean, that's pretty
sure.
simple, you know?
Sure, but also I think, how the pendulum swings to one side and the other, kind of, and I suppose that you can get too far where now you're just looking at grades, not even paying attention to the coin, and
Yep.
really we need to
Yep.
just be looking at the coins instead of, I
Yeah.
mean, to an extent,
No,
there's
you're
that side as
100%
well.
correct. There's only a certain amount of instances where we should buy the slab. Um, but primarily we should be purchasing the coin and not the slab. Now, if you're going to buy the slab, if you're going to come from that point of view, that buying angle, I would say that would be relatively smart if you're going to buy the slab. If it was a rattler, you know what a rattler is?
Yes, yes.
It's a slabbed coin from PCGS that really is kind of shakes around in there.
Yeah.
Well, generally speaking, those coins are actually um, graded lower than today's. Well, no, how do I say this?
Then
It'd be a
today's,
higher grade today if it was regraded. I think
yeah,
that's what it is.
sure. I
And
mean,
they
I've
come at a premium too. People really look out for those.
Yep,
Just a rattler
yep,
and CAC graded coins.
yeah,
CAC. Those
yep,
ones are also people buy the holder and not the coin so much on those.
sure,
Yeah.
yep. The green bean, the gold bean, yeah. And now they have their own service going too, right? So what's
Yeah.
your thoughts there?
100%. If you listen, if you can get anything from CAC or you could submit to CAC, more power to you. They are the bottom line. They're the last word in coin grading. They really are. The
Mm,
third party grading companies subject themselves to grading, being graded by CAC, with the green bean sticker, and all
yeah,
that stuff. Yeah. So it's something that is, paramount if you want to get the most for money for your coin. Especially if you think, listen, if you think that your coin is undervalued and undergraded, you send it to CAC, let them put a green bean sticker on there. I think that automatically allows for a grade higher when they're
yeah,
determining the value.
yeah, yeah. Now, I have here. do you do you consider yourself a numismatist? Because for me, obviously, you would be, but I kind
Yes.
of wonder what level. How do you know when you've arrived at that, or, well, what do you view that
Oh,
about
good question. I think it means something different to everybody, and that's reasonable. I think everybody, look, you could collect exonumia and be a numismatist in my book. But really, I think ultimately it boils down to your education level. If you walked into a coin store and you knew what an Indian head cent was compared to a Lincoln head cent, or Walking Liberty compared to a Franklin half dollar, and then if you started to know, that 1909 was the first year of the Lincoln cent, or 1916 was the first year of the Walking Liberty, things of that nature, you're probably a new, because the general public isn't going to know any of those things.
Right. Okay. So
And you know
yeah,
what you can do? Honestly, here's if you're a beginning coin collector, I would do one thing and one thing right now. If you don't have it already, you get the red book by R.S. Yeoman. That's a guidebook to United States coins. And I think they're going to be in the 76th edition or 77th edition soon. And just all you got to do is read probably the first maybe 20, maybe 15 pages in the book. And you'll know so much more about numismatics, and that more than anybody. I mean, it's incredible. Yeah, you read the first 20 pages, you're golden. And it's called Welcome to Numismatics. It's the best thing ever.
Well,
And really, and this is the worst part about numismatics is that when you don't know what you have, whether you're
yeah,
buying or selling, you
yeah,
can be put over a barrel, and nobody wants to be put over a barrel. You know what I'm saying? It's just you can lose a lot of money, and education never comes cheap. So if you're looking at something that selling something and it's a variety or it's a rare variety or it's a rare piece, and do you think the guy buying it is going to tell you that? No, because he's going to come out of pocket for more money.
right.
So yeah, that's a one thing in this business or hobby or whatever you want to call it. You have to know what you're selling, what you're buying, and it's all about education.
Very true. And like you say, and the scary part about that is you probably will become that because it's your money and you're paying attention. But what about your loved ones who you're handing this off to, right? That's kind of
Yeah,
keep.
exactly. That's why it's important to have everything graded and attributed properly on those slabbed coins. Because
Yeah.
even a slabbed coin, believe it or not, can have an error in it.
Oh,
Not necessarily from the grading company. The coin can be an error, but the grading company wasn't told to look for that, and there it is in there. So to me, that's a bummer. Um, like if you send in a coin to a grading company, you should just be able to send it in and then find out everything about it, whether it's an error, what the metal content is. But that's just me. I'm wishful thinking. I'm sure of it, but still.
yeah. Well, interesting on that lines is just a funny little story about I doubt you've seen my video. I had a video a week or two ago, and I had interviewed Aaron Burke, and he's pretty big in
Yeah, that's amazing. I was like, what the? Wow, I'm impressed.
yeah, right. Oh, I'm so lucky to have him on my channel. He's amazing, and I can't believe I get to interview him once a month so far. Anyway, so I'm really excited about that. But something that was amazing that I found out is he had someone from Israel, and actually he works in the government as kind of an antiquities guy, and he sent Aaron a coin that he had cleaned himself, and Aaron was going to give it to a company that sells basically only slabbed coins. And he sent it to them, and they sent it in to have it graded, and it got graded, but it was labeled as fake. And the interesting
Yep.
part about that was when Aaron got it back, he just contacted the guy, but the guy who sent it to him had took a, took pictures of it before he cleaned it. So they got this thing out of the ground, and it has thousands of years basically caked onto the coin, And and so he took a photo of it before he cleaned it, luckily, and then a photo of it after he cleaned it, and then sent it to Aaron. So, but this is it's this coin is authentic, basically, is what I'm saying,
Yeah.
and we're able to trace it. We know where it came from. We know it's legit, and so we know that so for some reason they labeled that as a fake. Now, you know it could be like a foray, which would have been something that a fake coin from that day, you know,
Hmm.
but they would call that a foray. So they label it fake, and so there are issues where here we're judging this coin as to be not real, and it is real. So
Yeah, regular. I mean, even people that collect modern coins, not just ancient coins, can run into instances where the coin grader says, "Okay, well, the surface has been altered, or it's been whizzed, or the coin has been cleaned, or it has
yeah,
environmental
that's
damage."
the big thing, right.
And it's like, you know, for the person who submitted the coin to have it graded, a lot of us don't even know the history of the coin, because yeah, we just obtained it, we just bought it,
Sure.
and that's one of the reasons why purchasing brand new stuff from the United States Mint is so awesome because it won't have issues like that.
Yeah.
Now, here and there, I think it was Daniel over at Coin Help You. He did a video about one of the Morgans that was submitted back in 2021. I don't remember the third party grader. It was PCGS or NGC. It came back cleaned, even though it was directly from the United States Mint. And I think that really it points out a larger problem with coin grading is that it's so subjective.
Yeah. Yep.
It's
Yep.
like, like you're the ancient you were talking about, you know, yeah, it's the real deal. I mean, they dug it up. It had tons of crust on it, and there it is. And yet
They
they
didn't,
actually,
you know,
yeah,
whatever, for some
exactly,
reason, right? Yeah, and
yeah.
yeah.